Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Espero que ustedes estén bien. Ok, soy profesor Puran y en este video voy a explorar cómo hacer o cómo escribir una carta para CXC. So, before we continue, I just want to take this opportunity to remind you all, if you like this content or if you like what you're seeing and you are interested in learning more, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends. So in this video we're going to talk about how to approach the CXC letter. Now the guidelines are on top, using one of the following outline as a guide. Now before, as I said, you would normally have to choose between a letter or a composition, but it's compulsory now that you do a letter. The same rules apply. It's basically 130 to 150 words. Pay attention to the tenses. That's what you need to be careful about. Look at the different parts and make sure you answer the questions. A lot of the times students, they literally just write one or two sentences surrounding the guide or the cue that they give you, but that is not what the CXC Spanish letter is about. Looking at the rubric, looking at reports, you would see that to write or to complete a letter, a CXC letter, you need to have a combination of these four cues. Also have a little extra information surrounding the topic or the cues. Also, you should use a good combination of tenses. Of course, it has to be accurate, it must be relevant, and the subjunctive mood, idiomatic expressions, any sort of expressions that will allow your work to be authentic and sound really good, not just answering the four cues that they give you here, which are what. Okay, so I'm gonna just read this here. You took part in a competition and won a monetary prize. So monetary means money. Write a letter to your friend who lives in Panama informing him or her of the good news. You must include what the competition was about, how you were informed that you had won, how you reacted to the news, and what you plan to do with your prize. So a lot of the time students would just literally answer what the competition was about, and they would say things like the competition was about a painting or it was about an essay, and that's that. One sentence, they move on. How you were informed that you had won. My teacher informed me, and that is it. How you reacted. I was very happy. And what you plan to do with your prize. I'm going to buy a pair of shoes, I'm going to buy a laptop, I'm going to buy a computer, a phone, a video game. And that's literally it. So you get letters where there is like one paragraph, two paragraph, and you see the limited vocabulary, the grammatical structures, the poor use of tenses, etc. No idioms, no idiomatic expressions, nothing of the sort. So normally you start off with a particular format. So I'm going to discuss it here, and then I'm going to show you a sample and show you how I incorporated everything within the word limit. Of course, 130 to 150 words. Please pay attention to that. So discussing this, I'm going to talk a little bit about it in English, and then I'm going to show you, just to keep the video short, I'll show you the sample. So what the competition was about. Now try to keep it based on your vocabulary level. You can say it was a sports competition, an essay competition, some sort of painting competition, whatever, an art competition, a drawing competition, things that you are familiar with, vocabulary that is available to you, and that of course that you would have learned and know from Form 1 to Form 5. So I'm going to say things like, I'm going to keep it as an essay competition. So I'm planning my letter basically. How you're informed, I'm going to say that while I was in art class, or in a particular class, my teacher informed me in front of the class. He made an announcement. How he reacted? Well, it's a combination of things you can say here, and this is a really good time for you to use some idiomatic expressions or what have you. And how you plan to spend your prize money? Well, you can buy I will say I'm going to buy a computer to assist me with my studies. So I'm going to move on now to the sample. Great, so you'll see here this is January 2010, and the purpose of this is just to educate students and assist students. Here you start off with, of course, the date, and the format starts with the place and then the date. You skip a line, querido Enrique, so you have your opening. Now, you always start off with something, just to break the ice. So you start off the letter by asking the person, ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Espero que tú y tu familia estén bien. So I hope that you and your family, you all are fine, you all are well. Yo escribo esta carta para decirte sobre una competencia que gané. So I recommend that you start off by saying things like, why are you writing this letter? I'm writing this letter to tell you about and whatever it is. A competition, a trip that you make with your parents, a Spanish speaking event, whatever it may be. El concurso fue sobre un ensayo o una pintura que representa un aspecto cultural de nuestro país. So I give here a little more information. So I'm recommending to you that you add a little more. Give a little bit about the competition. What was it about? Right? So the competition or the contest was about an essay or a painting that represents a cultural aspect of our country. Hice una pintura sobre las calles durante el carnaval. Qué asombroso. So I made a painting about the streets during carnival time. Qué asombroso. How amazing. So you give like a little explanation, interjection, or a little expression, whatever it may be, to add that sort of excitement in your essay, and of course you're adding words. Hice ese cuadro hace 3 meses y la olvidé. So I did this painting about 3 months ago and I forgot about it. La semana pasada, durante la clase de arte, mi profesor nos dijo que tenía buenas noticias, pero no le presté mucha atención hasta que me llamó frente a la clase e hizo el anuncio. So last week, during art class, my teacher told us that he had good news, but I didn't pay him any kind of attention or any much attention until he called me in front of the class and made the announcement. Of course, the announcement being that I won, or you won, the prize. En ese momento me quedé atónito y sin palabras. So this here, it's an idiomatic expression that basically translates to, in this moment, I was speechless, I was stunned, right? I remained there. So the literal translation looks like I remained there, but I was stunned. The translation would be I was stunned and speechless. Él y todos mis compañeros me felicitaron. So I'm adding some sort of information here, telling or saying that he and all of my classmates congratulated me. Estaba muy feliz. I was very happy. Enrique, so now I am addressing my friend to whom I'm writing this letter. Planeo comprar una computadora con el dinero que gané para ayudarme con mis estudios. So I plan on buying a computer with the money that I won in order to assist me or help me with my studies. Of course, you're going to continue studying, so you have this computer to help you do whatever you need to do. Eso es todo por ahora. Espero que nos veamos pronto. Adiós. Tu amigo Raúl. So that is all for now. I hope that we can see each other. I hope that we see each other soon. Goodbye, your friend Raúl. So we're gonna fragment this essay. We're gonna look at the different pieces. We're going to break it up. So I'll show you exactly what you need to put. So we have the date, as I said, and the opening. You always start off with some sort of greetings and asking the person how they're doing, wishing them well, something of that sort, and then you give the purpose of writing the letter. Give a little information about the letter. Now you would see here that I have part 1 of the question, which talks about, or which asks you to talk about what the competition was about. And I did say that here. It's a painting competition to paint something cultural about our country. So I have that there. How you were informed, right? So you were in class and your teacher was talking, you didn't really pay much attention, but then he called you to the front of the class and he made this announcement. How you reacted, right? You were stunned, you were speechless, you were happy. So it's not just one sentence, and you are seeing the use of the idiomatic expression there. What you plan to do with your price? I'm going to buy a computer with the money. Again, it's a monetary price, so it's money that they're going to give you. Elements in the letter, you will see that there's a bit of an introduction. The 4 cues are there, and then the conclusion, basically saying goodbye to the person. There was expressions, que asombroso. There was the use of the subjunctive in 2 or 3 places. Espero que tú y tu familia estén bien. Espero que nos veamos pronto. And there's also the use of we use adjectives. We use a variation of different words. So I use a variation of the same word, or synonyms if you want to say synonyms. For example, I have competencia, but then I have concurso, pintura in cuadro. So it shows that the vocabulary is not limited, it is extensive. The tenses, I have a combination of the present tense, the past tense, the both tenses, the imperfect, and of course the preterite tense. And grammatical constructions, the use of a instead of e. So you're seeing the grammatical aspects here. Pay attention to that. So coming to the end, we just simply end by saying that's all for now. Nos vemos, or whatever expression you know that you want to talk about, or that you want to put there and say there. And if you were to count this, it is around 150 words. So this is how you get the 150 words. A lot of students don't meet the word limit, and this is why. Okay, so apart from just the 4 cues that you were told to write about, extra information was added to achieve the word limit. So I hope this summary, or not summary, this sample, assists you, and you can write a better letter for CXC. So that's all for today. Again, please subscribe, like, share with all your friends, your Spanish friends, and I hope that this benefits you. Ciao.